Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I'm Hasham. So far 9 problems I have completed on the topic of computing income from business or profession. So in this video, 3 more problems, 10th, 11th and 12th I'm going to continue. So before starting the 10th problem, I expect my viewers to have a printout of the problems which I have given in the link under my description. Take the screenshot of the points of these 3 problems. Then I'll explain every point in detail. Come on, see the 10th problem. Problem number 10. From the following profit and loss account of Sri Murthy, a sole trader, compute his business income for the assessment year 2021. Assessment year actually 22-23. There's a misprint there. Now net profit. How much is the net profit given as per P&L account? 30,000. So we'll begin with net profit as per profit and loss account 30,000. Now debit side, you see which are the items which are inadmissible. Inadmissible means disallowed by Income Tax Act. So debit side, general expenses allowed, staff salary allowed, bad debts allowed, depreciation. For depreciation, see the adjustment. If depreciation as per IT rules is given an adjustment, then we'll disallow. So here it is given. Third point, depreciation on assets other than patents is 4,800. This 4,800 is as per the income tax rules. So the depreciation which is debited to profit and loss account will be disallowed. How much depreciation? 4,000. So this depreciation 4,000 is disallowed. Next, advertisement allowed. Income tax appeal. This is disallowed. Not a business expenditure. It's a personal expenditure of the owner, assessee. Then fire insurance on stock allowed. Donation to National Defence Fund, NDF. Actually, donation given to anybody, it is completely disallowed. Whether it is given to National Defence Fund or any other purpose, donation given will be always disallowed. So donation to NDF, disallowed. Patents purchased. For patents purchased, it is a capital expenditure. It will be disallowed. So patents purchased 10,500 disallowed. But Income Tax Act will allow depreciation at the rate of 25% on patent purchased. So on this 10,500, 25% depreciation allowed. See here, depreciation on patents, 25% of 10,500, 2,625 allowed. Next, audit fees allowed. Provision for doubtful debts, completely disallowed. Every problem we have seen, provision for doubtful debts, disallowed. Life insurance premium. Actually, insurance on business stock is allowed. Whereas life insurance premium is a personal expenditure of the SSC, not allowed as deduction. So life insurance premium, disallowed. Over. Debit side, we have seen all the disallowed items. So we have added. The total comes to 41,500. Now add back 30 plus 41, 71,500. Now, credit side of P&L account. The incomes which are not business incomes should be deducted. The incomes may be taxable under other heads like income from house property, capital gain, other sources, etc. which is not taxable under the head business income. See the credit side. Gross profit, bad debts recovered. Bad debts recovered is a business income if the deduction was allowed earlier. If bad debts deduction were allowed earlier, now it is recovered, then it's a business income. If it is not allowed as deduction earlier, now bad debts are recovered, it is not an income. It is not taxable. So here, adjustment given bad debts recovered is allowed earlier, specifically given in adjustment. So when bad debts are allowed as deduction earlier, now bad debts recovered is a business income and already credited to profit and loss account. Nothing should be done. Leave it. Income tax refund. When income tax refund is there, it is not an income at all, not taxable. Our money, we have paid the tax in excess. The income tax department has refunded the tax. So our money is we are getting back. So income tax refund is not a taxable income. So we deduct income tax refund. Next comes dividend on shares. The dividend on shares is taxable under income from other sources. It is not a business income, so we are deducting dividend on shares. Then dividends on units of UTI. Any dividend received from the units of Unit Trust of India, it is fully exempted from tax, not taxable. So we deduct. The total of this three amount is 17,500. Now deduct 17,500. 71,500 minus 17,500, 54,000. 54,000. Now deductions allowed as per income tax rules. Now see the adjustment. First adjustment, patents are purchased previous year. So whatever patents are purchased, that this depreciation will be allowed. We have deducted. Bad debts recovered was allowed as earlier. So it's a business income. Last one, depreciation on assets other than patents. Other than patents, the depreciation is 4,800. This 4,800 is allowed. Now take the total 7,425. Deduct 7,425. 54,000 minus 7,425. 46,575. This is the income from business. See here, the computational part I have displayed, I have explained. But in examination, after completing the calculating part, you have to give the working notes. In working notes, you have to write so many points. That is a must. If you want full marks in examination, you have to write the working notes. Example, units, dividends on units of UTI, it is fully exempted from tax. Dividend on shares, it is taxable under income from other sources. Then income tax refund, it is not an income, not taxable. Bad debts recovered is a business income, which is taxable because bad debts were allowed as deduction earlier. It is given in the problem. Always while watching the video, you should keep a notebook, calculator, pen ready. Whatever provisions I am explaining, immediately you should write it. Then only you can be able to remember. Other so many provisions are there, you will forget it. So always maintain the notes. And debit side, you can see life insurance premium, personal expense, provision for doubtful debts, not allowed as deduction. Patents purchased is a capital expenditure, so disallowed. But depreciation 25% is allowed. Donation given to anyone, that is completely disallowed always. Then income tax appeal is a personal expense. All these are the points you have to write in working notes. Now I am coming to the next problem. Problem number 11. Mr. Shyam Sundar is the owner of a business. From the following profit and loss account, compute the income under the head profits and gains of business or profession for the year end. Now, how much are the net profit as per profit and loss account? 4,65,000 is the net profit as per profit and loss account. So here I have taken 4,65,000 net profit. Now debit side, you see which are the inadmissible expenses that we have to add back. The expenses which are disallowed by Income Tax Act. So here debit side, how much it is? 4,60,000. Debit side, you can see first item, salaries. Salaries allowed. Next page. After salaries, proprietor's salary disallowed. Salary paid to employees allowed. Salary paid to owner disallowed. So here proprietor's salary disallowed. Taxes and insurance, it is assumed for business, allowed. Advertising allowed. Electricity allowed. Life insurance premium, just like the previous problem. Here also life insurance premium disallowed. It is personal. Then bad debts allowed as deduction. Provision for bad debts disallowed. So provision for bad and doubtful debts. Interest on loan is allowed, whereas interest on capital is disallowed. All these are the provisions I have already explained in the theory video. That's why again and again I am telling you, if you want the complete command, don't ignore, don't neglect the theory video. All these provisions I have explained. If you carefully have watched that video, definitely you don't find any difficulty in any of the problem. The next one is fines and penalties. It is allowed as deduction, assuming that it is not in violation of law. Oh, sorry. Fines and penalties. If what is given in the problem? Nothing is given. So any fines or penalties in violation of law, that will be disallowed. If any fines are paid in a business contract, it is allowed. If nothing is given, we make the assumption these fines and penalties are in violation of law, so it is disallowed. So fines and penalties disallowed. Next one, depreciation. For depreciation, you have to see the adjustment. If in adjustment depreciation as per IT rules is given, then depreciation debited to profit and loss account will be disallowed. Depreciation allowed as per IT rules 15,500. That is given in the adjustment. That is allowed. Whereas depreciation 20,000 debited to profit and loss account disallowed. So here depreciation 20,000 disallowed. General reserve. Actually, amount transferred to general reserve is an appropriation, not an expenditure. It is not an expense. So any amount transfer to general reserve is not allowed as deduction. Here 25,000, right? So debit side we have taken all. Now credit side, you see which are the incomes which are not business income, we deduct. So gross profit, then rent is given. We know rent is taxable under the head income from house property, not business income. So deduct rent, 50,000. After rent, interest on bank deposit. Interest on bank deposit is taxable under income from other sources, not a business income. So deduct interest on bank deposit. Next, bad debts recovered, 5,000. Out of this, 3,000 is disallowed earlier. If bad debts were allowed as deduction earlier, now it is a business income. If bad debts are disallowed earlier, now it is recovered, it is not taxable. So here out of 5,000, 3,000 are bad debts which are disallowed earlier. Now that 3,000 is not a taxable income. It is not taxable. So here bad debts recovered, disallowed earlier, 3,000, not taxable. So 50, 60, 63,000, deduct 63,000, 5,07,500. So after this 5,07,500, see the adjustments, the deductions which are allowed as per IT rules. Depreciation allowed as per IT rule 15,500. So depreciation 15,500 allowed. Advertisement expenses include 25,000 paid in cash. Now one rule is there. Income Tax Act says any revenue expenses exceeding 20,000 should be paid either through crossed check or a bank draft. The amount in excess of 20,000, if it is paid in cash, completely it will be disallowed. So here it is saying advertisement expenses 25,000 paid in cash, complete 25,000 disallowed. If all the expenses below 20,000 we can pay in cash. If the amount is over 20,000, it should not be paid in cash. If it is paid in cash, disallowed. So here you can see advertisement. Here advertisement expenses paid in cash 25,000 disallowed. Next, on the last date of the accounting year, the cashier reported a cash shortage of 2,000. So there is a shortage of cash. It is treated as a revenue loss. It will be allowed as reduction. Cash shortage reported 2,000. Then interest on loan includes 3,000 interest on loan taken from wife out of her stridhan. The SSC has taken a loan from his wife and the wife has given the amount from her stridhan. The interest paid on loan will be allowed as deduction. Interest on loan taken from wife will be allowed as deduction. So here interest on loan already debited to profit and loss account. Interest on loan 16,000. In that 16,000, this 3,000 is also included. It is allowed as deduction. Nothing to be done. Only in working note you should write on interest on loan which is taken from the wife out of her stridhan is allowed as deduction. No adjustment, nothing. That's all. So all the adjustment items I have explained. Now take the total. The total of all inadmissible expenses 1,05,500. Add up 465 plus 105, 500, 5,70,500. Now deduction, 3 items are deductible items, 63,000 less, so 507,500. Out of which 2 deductions are given as per IT rules, 17,500. The business income is 4,90,000. So due to time constraint and the space here, I am not writing all the working notes. Only computational part I am writing on the board, and the remaining part I am explaining. So you have to make the notes of important points which I have said here. Now next, 12th problem. Compute income from business of Shanti from the information given below. The profit as per profit and loss account is 1,55,000. You can see the problem. 1,55,000 is the net profit as per profit and loss account. Now debit side, you see, salaries allowed, general expenses allowed, RBD, reserve for bad debts, it is disallowed. Provision for bad debts or reserve for bad debts means same, it is disallowed. So add back, reserve for bad debts 10,000. Then donations, previous problem I told you, donations given will be completely disallowed, irrespective to whom it is given. The word donation will be disallowed. So here donation 15,000 disallowed. Next, income tax reserve. Income tax paid, advance income tax paid or income tax reserve completely disallowed. Here 25,000 disallowed. Then sales tax. Sales tax is a business tax. GST, sales tax, excise duty, customs duty, these are allowed as deduction. Then depreciation. Now see the adjustment, is depreciation as per IT rule is given? Yes. So in adjustment it is given depreciation as per IT rules. So whatever depreciation debited to P&L account, disallowed. So depreciation 12,000 disallowed. Next comes drawings. Drawing is not an expenditure. It is the amount taken by the owner for personal use, disallowed according to the rules of Income Tax Act. Interest on capital, disallowed. Interest on loan is allowed. Interest on capital is disallowed. So interest on capital 10,000 disallowed. So debit side we have seen all the items. Now once we'll see the credit side. Gross profit, then rent from house property. It is income which is taxable on income from house property, not business income. So deduct. Here income is taxable separately, rent from house property 5,000. Bracket denotes minus. Wherever bracket is there, we have to subtract. So that in rent from house property, we have to subtract. Then discount. Discount is given on the credit side of P&L account. It is discount received. So discount received is a business income. Nothing to be done. Then bank interest. Bank interest is taxable under income from other sources, not a business income. So deduct. Bank interest 15,000 minus. Next one is dividends. Dividend received is taxable under income from other sources. It is not a business income. So deduct dividends, right? That's all. So we have seen all the credit side items. So debit side we have seen, credit side we have seen. Now we'll see the adjustments. Actual bad debts 2,000. Actually reserve for doubtful debts or provision for doubtful debts is disallowed completely. Whereas bad debts are allowed as deduction provided the SSC has satisfied some conditions. If nothing is given, we assume that the SSC has satisfied the condition. So bad debts are allowed as deduction. It is not debited to profit and loss account. Now it is allowed as deduction. So deductions allowed as per IT rules. Actual bad debts 2,000 in bracket. Bracket means subtraction. Then depreciation allowed as per IT rules 5,000. That is allowed. Depreciation 5,000. Last one. General expenses include domestic expense of proprietor 12,000. General expenses are debited to profit and loss account 60,000. In the P&L account debit side 60,000. Adjustment it is saying that in that 60,000, 12,000 are the personal expenses, domestic expenses of the proprietor, disallowed. Only business expenses will be allowed. Personal expenses of the owner, not allowed. So here, general expenses, domestic expense 12,000 disallowed. That's all. So I have explained you all the items on the debit side of P&L account and credit side of P&L account, and also adjustments. Now simply we have to take the total and put it in the outer column. So here inadmissible expenses all ticked. So if they take the total of this item, 92,000 is the total inadmissible expenses. Add up 155 plus 92, 247. From 247 deduct the incomes which are separately taxable under other heads. So 3 items we have to subtract. After subtracting, we got 1,57,000. From 1,57,000 deduct the deductions allowed as per income tax rules. So 2 deductions are there. After deducting, 1,50,000 is the business income. That's all. This is the end of problem number 12. So in this video, 10, 11, 12, 3 problems I have explained in detail every problem. So if you want the perfect knowledge, watch the video once, twice, thrice, then only you can be able to get the full command. So if you're satisfied, give a like to the video, share my channel, give your comments and subscribe my channel if you have not yet subscribed. And by the super thanks which is given below my video, inshallah we'll continue the next problem in the next video.